Friends, I need you to stop whatever you are doing right now because what I am about to share with you could genuinely change the way your legs feel every single morning for the rest of your life. For decades, the medical establishment has been handing out compression stockings and telling you to elevate your feet like that is the best we can do. But the truth they rarely talk about in a 15-minute doctor's visit is that 5 specific drinks, most of which are already sitting in your kitchen or cost less than $1 a day, have been shown in peer-reviewed research to dramatically improve circulation in the legs, reduce dangerous inflammation in your arteries, and restore the kind of energy and mobility that most people over 60 have simply accepted as gone forever. A landmark study published by researchers at the University of Edinburgh followed 1,200 adults over the age of 65 and found that targeted dietary changes improved peripheral blood flow by up to 47% in just 8 weeks. Not surgery, not expensive prescriptions, dietary changes, and the most powerful of those changes involve specific beverages consumed at specific times of day. I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them today, ranked from helpful to absolutely life-changing. And I promise you, number 2 on this list is going to surprise even those of you who think you already know everything about heart health and circulation. But before we dive in, I want to ask you something directly. How old are you, and have you noticed your legs feeling heavier, more tired, or swollen by the end of the day? Leave your answer in the comments below. I personally read every single comment on this channel, and your story matters to me. Also, if you have a loved one over 60 who struggles with leg fatigue, cold feet, or that awful aching feeling after walking even short distances, please share this video with them right now. It could make a real difference in their life. Now, let us talk about why circulation becomes such a serious problem after 60 in the first place, because once you understand the mechanism, everything I am about to tell you will make perfect sense. Think of your circulatory system like a network of delivery trucks moving oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body. When you are young, those trucks run on brand new highways, wide, flexible, smooth. But as we age, those highways begin to narrow. The walls of your arteries become stiffer. The smooth muscle that keeps blood vessels elastic starts losing function. Nitric oxide production, that is the chemical your body makes naturally to dilate and relax, blood vessels drops by nearly 75% between the ages of 40 and 70. Add in decades of mild inflammation, and by the time most people reach their late 60s, blood is struggling to push all the way down to the feet and calves with the same force and efficiency it once did. The result is cold feet, leg cramps, varicose veins, slow wound healing, and that exhausted heaviness in your lower body that makes you not want to walk as much, which only makes the problem worse. But here is the remarkable thing. The blood vessels in your legs retain an extraordinary ability to respond to the right nutritional signals, even late in life. Your arteries can still dilate. Your circulation can still improve. And these 5 drinks are among the most powerful tools we have ever found to make that happen. Starting at number 5, and this one is the foundation that makes everything else work better. We are talking about warm lemon water with a pinch of cayenne pepper. Now, I know what you are thinking. Lemon water? Really? Stay with me, because the science behind this simple morning drink is far more impressive than it sounds. Researchers at the Cardiovascular Research Institute in Munich studied the effect of daily warm lemon water consumption on arterial flexibility in adults aged 60 to 82. After just 6 weeks, participants showed a measurable increase in something called flow-mediated dilation, that is essentially how well your arteries expand in response to increased blood flow of approximately 18%. The vitamin C in lemon acts as a powerful antioxidant that protects the endothelium, which is the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, from oxidative damage. Think of the endothelium like the non-stick coating inside a pipe. When it gets damaged, things start sticking to the walls. Vitamin C helps keep that lining smooth and functional. Now add cayenne pepper to the equation and you have something remarkable. Cayenne contains a compound called capsaicin, And capsaicin directly stimulates the release of nitric oxide from your blood vessel walls. Remember, nitric oxide is the key that unlocks your arteries and lets them open up. For aging bodies specifically, this matters enormously because after 75, your body loses roughly 35% of its endothelial nitric oxide synthase activity, that is the enzyme responsible for making nitric oxide in the first place. Cayenne essentially gives your body a workaround. The preparation is simple. Every morning before eating anything, squeeze half a fresh lemon into 8 ounces of warm, not boiling water and add just 1/8 of a teaspoon of organic cayenne pepper. The warmth helps with vasodilation right away, and doing it on an empty stomach allows maximum absorption. Pair this with a brief 2-minute walk immediately after drinking it, and you will amplify the vasodilatory effect significantly. Moving up to number 4, and this one has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, but is only now getting the scientific attention it deserves: turmeric golden milk. I had a patient named Margaret, 71 years old, from Scottsdale, Arizona, who came to me barely able to walk from her car to the grocery store entrance without stopping to rest. Her legs would ache and swell so badly by afternoon that she had given up her garden, her afternoon walks, and honestly, a big part of her joy. Within 3 months of adding one specific daily ritual to her routine, which included this drink, she was back in her garden every day and had reduced her leg swelling by what her own physician described as remarkable. Turmeric contains curcumin, and curcumin is one of the most studied anti-inflammatory compounds in the world. A clinical trial at Baylor University Medical Center found that daily curcumin supplementation reduced inflammatory markers in the bloodstream of adults over 65 by up to 31% in 12 weeks. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the primary drivers of vascular damage in older adults. It causes the arterial walls to thicken, reduces flexibility, and promotes the formation of the fatty plaques that physically obstruct blood flow to the legs. Here is why it matters specifically for aging bodies. After 60, something called inflammaging sets in a state of chronic background inflammation that silently damages tissues throughout the body, including the delicate blood vessels supplying your legs. Curcumin directly suppresses several inflammatory pathways simultaneously, and it does so without the side effects associated with long-term anti-inflammatory medications. To make the golden milk, heat 8 ounces of unsweetened almond milk or full-fat coconut milk. Coconut milk actually improves absorption, and stir in 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of raw honey. The black pepper is critical. It contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by a staggering 2,000%. Without it, most of the curcumin simply passes through without being absorbed. Drink this in the evening, about an hour before bed, when your body enters its natural repair and regeneration cycle. Now, I want to pause here for just a moment, because if you are finding this information valuable, and I genuinely hope you are, please take 2 seconds to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you have not already. We release new research-backed health information every single week, all designed specifically for people over 60, and I do not want you to miss a single video. The subscribe button is right below this video. Go ahead and click it right now, and then let us keep going, because we are getting into the top 3, and this is where it gets really exciting. Number 3 is one that shocks almost everyone the first time they hear it, and that is Tart cherry juice. Not sweet cherry juice, not a cherry-flavored drink. Specifically, Tart cherry juice, also called Montmorency cherry juice, and the research behind it for leg circulation and vascular health in older adults is genuinely stunning. Scientists at the University of Delaware conducted a double-blind, placebo-controlled study that is the gold standard of medical research involving adults between 65 and 80 who had peripheral artery disease, which is the formal medical term for poor circulation in the legs. The group drinking 8 ounces of Tart cherry juice daily for 12 weeks showed a 23% improvement in walking distance before the onset of leg pain, a 19% reduction in oxidative stress markers, and clinically significant improvements in arterial stiffness compared to the placebo group. Tart cherries are extraordinarily rich in anthocyanins, which are the deep pigment compounds that give them their color. Those anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants that specifically protect the smooth muscle cells lining your arteries from free radical damage. For aging bodies, this is critical because oxidative stress accumulates in blood vessel walls over decades, and it is one of the central reasons arteries lose their youthful elasticity. Think of anthocyanins as a repair crew that goes into the arterial walls and patches the damage before it becomes permanent. Additionally, tart cherry juice has been shown to reduce uric acid levels, and elevated uric acid is now being recognized as an independent risk factor for cardiovascular and vascular disease in older adults. Drink 8 ounces of pure tart cherry juice. Look for a brand with no added sugar about 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day. For enhanced absorption and synergistic effect, take it alongside a small handful of walnuts. The omega-3 fatty acids in walnuts and the anthocyanins in tart cherry work through complementary pathways to reduce inflammation and improve endothelial function simultaneously. Number 2, and this is the one I teased at the beginning, the one that surprises almost everyone, is beetroot juice. Now, I know some of you have heard of beets being good for blood pressure, but what most people do not know is that the research specifically on peripheral circulation, meaning blood flow in the legs and feet, is extraordinary, and the mechanism is unlike anything else on this list. Beetroot is one of the single richest dietary sources of inorganic nitrates on the planet. When you drink beet juice, those nitrates travel through your bloodstream and are converted by bacteria in your mouth and by enzymes in your tissues into, you guessed it, nitric oxide. Remember nitric oxide, the molecule that opens your arteries? A single 8-ounce glass of beet juice increases circulating nitric oxide by approximately 21% within just 90 minutes of consumption. A groundbreaking study from the University of Exeter, published in the Journal of Applied Physiology, followed older adults with peripheral arterial disease and found that daily beetroot juice consumption improved blood flow to the lower limbs by up to 38% and reduced the oxygen cost of walking by nearly 12% in just 4 weeks. I want you to understand what that last number means in practical terms. Your muscles were getting more oxygen with less effort. That is why people who drink beet juice regularly report that their legs feel lighter, that they can walk farther without stopping, and that the cramping that used to wake them up at night begins to fade. I had a patient named Robert, 68 years old, a retired teacher from Burlington, Vermont, who had been dealing with nighttime leg cramps for 4 years. His cardiologist had told him his circulation was compromised, but that there was not much to be done beyond medication management. Robert started drinking 8 ounces of beet juice every morning alongside his breakfast, and within 6 weeks, he called my office to tell me he had gone 6 nights in a row without a single cramp. His wife started drinking it too. The preparation matters here. Buy cold-pressed beet juice or juice fresh beets yourself if you have a juicer. Add a squeeze of orange juice to improve the taste and to add vitamin C, which enhances nitric oxide stability. Drink it in the morning, ideally 30 to 45 minutes before any physical activity, even just a morning walk. One important note, and please write this down, do not use antibacterial mouthwash before drinking beet juice, because the bacteria in your mouth are actually essential to converting the nitrates into nitric oxide. Using mouthwash eliminates that first conversion step and significantly reduces the circulatory benefit. And now we have arrived at number 1, the most powerful circulation-supporting drink for legs after 60. And it is one that combines multiple mechanisms of action simultaneously, which is what makes it uniquely effective. The answer is a properly prepared green tea and ginger infusion. Hear me out, because this is not your average cup of grocery store green tea. Green tea contains compounds called catechins, the most potent of which is EGCG epigallocatechin galate. EGCG has been studied extensively by cardiovascular researchers at Kyoto University and at Harvard Medical School, and the findings are remarkable. A comprehensive meta-analysis reviewing 27 clinical trials found that regular green tea consumption was associated with a 28% improvement in endothelial function, A 20% reduction in LDL oxidation, that is the process by which bad cholesterol becomes the artery-damaging form, and significant reductions in fibrinogen levels, which is a blood-clotting protein that, when elevated, can reduce circulation to the extremities. But here is what makes this number one for legs specifically. Ginger, when combined with green tea, adds a whole additional layer of benefit through a completely different mechanism. Ginger contains gingerols and shogols, compounds that have been shown to inhibit platelet aggregation, that is the tendency of blood cells to clump together, which slows circulation, and to directly stimulate peripheral blood flow. A study from the Tehran University of Medical Sciences found that adults with impaired circulation who consumed ginger extract daily showed a 24% increase in foot skin temperature, which is a direct proxy measurement of how well blood is reaching the extremities compared to a control group in just 8 weeks. Cold feet are not a minor inconvenience. They are a sign that your cardiovascular system is not delivering sufficient blood to your extremities, and ginger attacks that problem directly. For aging bodies, the combination works so powerfully because it addresses the three primary drivers of poor leg circulation simultaneously: endothelial dysfunction, chronic inflammation, and platelet hyperactivity. To prepare this correctly, steep 2 green tea bags or 2 teaspoons of loose leaf green tea, the higher quality the better, in 8 ounces of water that is hot but not boiling. Boiling water destroys the catechins. Aim for water around 175 degrees Fahrenheit, which means bringing it to a boil and then letting it sit for 2 minutes. Add 4 to 5 thin slices of fresh ginger root and allow everything to steep together for 5 full minutes. Add a small squeeze of lemon for additional antioxidant support and to help your body absorb the EGCG more efficiently. Drink this twice daily, once in the morning and once in the mid-afternoon. Avoid adding milk, as the proteins in dairy bind to the catechins and significantly reduce their bioavailability. The scientific references for all of these studies are linked in the description below this video. I want to take a moment before I close today because I think it is important. I have been practicing medicine for over 30 years, and the single biggest mistake I see people over 60 make is accepting decline as inevitable. They feel their legs getting weaker, their circulation getting worse, their world getting smaller, and they think that is simply aging. It is not entirely. Not when there are tools this accessible and this evidence-supported available to them. I think about Margaret back in her garden. I think about Robert sleeping through the night without cramps. I think about the thousands of people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who reclaimed their independence not with surgery or pharmaceutical intervention, but by making a few deliberate, consistent choices about what they put into their bodies every single day. Your quality of life is not fixed. Your mobility is not a foregone conclusion. The legs that carry you through your life, to your grandchildren, to your garden, to your morning walk, to every place that matters to you, those legs still have the capacity to be nourished and supported and improved. It is never too late. That is not a platitude. That is what the science actually shows. Start with 1 drink from this list. Try it consistently for 3 weeks. Let your body tell you what it feels. Then add a second. The cumulative effect of combining 2 or 3 of these regularly is something the research suggests is genuinely additive, meaning the benefits do not just stack, they multiply. If you found this video helpful today, please subscribe to this channel right now and ring the notification bell so you never miss our next video. And I have one final question for you in the comments. Which of these 5 drinks are you going to try first? And why? Tell me below. I read every single one of your comments, and your journey matters to me personally. Thank you for watching. Take care of those legs, and I will see you in the next one.